Political tensions arising in Rivers State casting doubt on Governor Siminalayi Fubara's potential return before the 6-month state of emergency declared by President Bola Tinubu on March the 18th. Despite hopes that Fubara's reinstatement might be announced on May the 29th, recent events suggest otherwise. The tension escalated during a Friday empowerment event for 500 Rivers women in Port Harcourt, organized by First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu. Women walked out when Dr. Theresa Ibas, wife of the sole administrator, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, addressed them instead of the expected First Lady. Minister Nyesom Wike, currently in China, condemned the walkout as an insult, apologizing on behalf of the state. However, many Rivers women and Niger Delta leaders, including human rights activist Anke Briggs, defended the women's actions. They rejected claims of disrespect, saying the walkout was due to the women's expectation of the First Lady's appearance and not political motives. Well, for a conversation on the peace moves initiated by suspended Rivers State Governor Fubara to Wike and the prospective success of the reconciliation given the war of attrition between both parties, President General Initiative for Transport Strategy and Good Leadership, Chizy Enyi, now joins us on Newsday. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
So what do you make of reports, that Governor Sim Fubara has initiated peace talks with his predecessor, Nyesom Wike? Are you optimistic that it will yield positive results, especially when you consider Wike's criticism of the walkout by some women at an event attended by Theresa Ibas in Port Harcourt?
For record purposes, Siminalayi Fubara has been a peaceful man. Like I have continued to say, I'm not one of those that voted for him, but he just surprised me by turning to be the opposite of what I saw initially when Wike brought him. Ordinarily, Sim Fubara, since he became governor, has made Rivers people to be very much peaceful as during the time of Amici. And as we speak now, he has also come by way of trying to make peace with everybody, including those who oppose and abuse him, including his predecessor, Nyesom Wike. I heard on social media or even in some television station where they said Fubara has initiated peace move. Fine and good. There is no hard feelings of that. But on the Rivers side, where the same person you hear that Governor Fubara has gone to meet for a peace move would always, in turn, come publicly to abuse him. Wike was in China when the Rivers women who publicly said they cannot be deceived into doing what they don't want to do. The recent program organized by the First Lady, and the story was that the wife of the speaker was expected to come and address them. On getting there, it was turned out to be the wife of the sole administrator here in Rivers State. And Rivers women, without hiding their feelings, not minding whomever is involved, rose to expectations as to say, we will never support the wife of the sole administrator to address us. In fact, it did not even start with the Rivers women. It started with NBA when they said they will never allow the sole administrator to address them. NLC too also said they will never allow the sole administrator to take salute by them. Hence, Rivers women also joined suit to say they would never allow the wife of the sole administrator to address them. What is really wrong with that? The Rivers women believe that they were going for a program, empowerment program organized by the First Lady, and from the information available to them is that the wife of the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives is to represent the First Lady. On getting there, they were misled into seeing the wife of the sole administrator. And what is wrong with saying that, look, we are seeing what we never expected? We are deceived into believing that instead of the wife of the speaker, we are seeing the wife of the sole administrator. For us in Rivers State, there is no crisis. Even though Mr. President may have been deceived, Mr. President does not live in Rivers State. If he may have been deceived into believing that there are crises and then declare state of emergency, does not mean we must always, at every point in time, talk down on the president. But because the president is not here, we have also seen that since he is not here, we should believe that he acted on information within his reach. And having declared state of emergency, he has also seen in turn that Rivers people do not want state of emergency. We do no longer want military rule in Rivers State. Hence, the women resorted to saying that they want their governor back. What is wrong with that? That is not even a crime. It's a pure civil disobedience where they say, if this person is to address us, we will not agree. They stage a walkout. They never offended anybody. They never disrespected anybody. That is on their own. It's their civil right. So, but the same week who you hear that Governor Fubara has gone to see today, the next thing tomorrow you hear him condemning the actions of Rivers women, saying that Governor Fubara sent them. In fact, is Wike and Fubara the owners of Rivers State? Does it mean that only Fubara and Wike supporters were those that went for the program? The First Lady invited Rivers women and not supporters of Fubara and not supporters of Wike. So if Rivers women went there for the fact that the First Lady invited them for an empowerment program, what is wrong with that?
Chizy, allow me to interrupt.
They saw what they never expected and they rose up to the expectation.
Yes, yes. This walkout clearly shows another sign of disgruntlement in this situation between Governor Fubara and Minister Wike. But moving towards reconciliation, hopefully, how realistic is it to expect any kind of sustainable peace between the two of them, even with any kind of external mediation? And if reconciliation is actually achieved, what mechanisms can be put in place so that things stay on an even keel and that the truce remains, and that situations like this where individuals walk out of an assembly, et cetera, don't exacerbate the tensions between the two camps again?
At first, ask yourself, does Wike want peace? If yes, what is the extent of, while in China, sending his media aid to condemn the actions of Rivers women and allege that they were sent by Fubara? If Wike wants peace, he can condemn the actions of those who he felt disrespected whomever he thinks in order to get favor. That's the same thing in 2014 and 2015. I think he also condemned Amechi's statement against Jonathan. And today, where is Jonathan? Where is Wike? So we know he's stuck in trade. If Fubara has met Wike for peaceful reconciliation, what is the basis of making mockery of him in the public? In fact, it was from Wike we heard that Fubara visited him, and he openly said that you cannot just come alone to meet me. There are stakeholders in Rivers State, there are House of Reps members, there are State Assembly members, there are senators. Or is it unknown to Wike that even the Fubara side also has House of Reps members and the House of Assembly members and even senators, including the stakeholders in Rivers State? Those ones does not mean anything to Wike. The only one that means something to Wike is those ones that are supporting him. So if if former Governor Wike meant well for Rivers State, what is the basis of coming publicly to begin to cajole Fubara's peace move? What we know in Rivers State is that we have one governor. Just like the current song now everywhere is that Governor Fubara is our governor, we don't have a second one. I think, how do they even sing it? Now our governor be this, oh, we don't have another one. Now our governor be this, oh. Then Fubara is our governor, we don't have another one. So if Fubara is the governor of Rivers State, and as at this point in time he is making peace, exercising what no other individual would have done, including Barrister Chizy, I can't do what he's doing. So if he's doing that based on his nature, his simple nature, his honesty, why not Wike allow peace in Rivers State? There are so many persons who own this state and not just Wike and Fubara, for Christ's sake. I've said it here oftentimes that I am not a fan of Fubara. When they were doing their governorship thing, I never voted him. But because he is a man who believes in the rule of law and he is leading Rivers State well. So if political discrepancies has come up and as at now there is need for peace, for Rivers State to move forward, why should he be undermined? Why should this be taken as a discussion? Rivers women who went there who attended the program saying that they don't want the wife of the governor, the wife of the sole administrator to address them. To what extent have they done wrong? That is a sign for Mr. President to know that Rivers State is relatively peaceful and they want their governor back. The president can also, in his own wisdom, invite the two persons and make peace within them. Instead of every day you hear Governor Fubara went to Wike, he prostrated. Let me even tell you, In Rivers State, our culture is not to prostrate. We don't prostrate for anybody. If you like be Royal Highness, if you like be Royal Majesty, if you like be President of Nigeria, nobody will prostrate for you. It is the culture of the Yoruba people that will always prostrate. They also don't mean to undermine whomever or to praise whomever. It is their culture. Our culture is not to prostrate. So on what extent would Governor Fubara prostrate for anybody? But assuming Governor Fubara did that and prostrated for Wike, why should it be used as a discussion on social media? That Wike supporters will be ranting everywhere that Governor Fubara is prostrating. In fact, they where you day, they where we day. Of what essence is that? What we want is peace and development in Rivers State. We want progress. Assuming Wike is not a minister, how will anybody say that Wike should, Fubara should go and prostrate before Wike, or that a sitting governor should go and look for someone who is his son? Because whether I like it or not, everybody in Rivers State are subject of Fubara. Hence, he is not supposed to meet anybody for peace. People are supposed to meet him to make peace. But he has undermined his position. He has undermined that he's playing a fatherly role. He has gone to meet those who he expect to meet him. But now reverse is the case. It's because of his peaceful nature. Hence, Nigerians should know that he is not the problem of Rivers State. In fact, we have assembly members who were also suspended. To what extent have they made peace move for reconciliation and for Rivers State to move forward? Everybody wants Fubara to make peace move. Everybody wants to. So why must it be Fubara that will make the peace move when for now, he is our father in Rivers State? Why must our father start the peace move? Why not the children start the peace move? It's very unfortunate that this is happening when the time that somebody like Fubara is the governor. Assuming it's Barrister Chizy, oh God, heaven would have fallen as Wike wanted heaven to fall. But however, what will we do? Governor Fubara is a man who we know is relatively peaceful in nature, in character, and everything. Hence, he has come up with this, and yet they are using it to insult him. Well, to God be the glory that he has even commenced a peaceful move. Let it now be that while in his peaceful nature, in his peaceful move, Nigerians can now attest to the fact who truly is the problem of Rivers State. Why are we retarding? Because if you can imagine, since the inception of the sole administrator till today, he came up, the first thing he did was to appoint local government sole administrators against what the president directed. The next thing he did was to appoint some boards and agencies like Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission and which other board again, which he has not inaugurated since then till date. How can a man who was sent to Rivers State to make peace come back to say he wants to conduct election in a military regime? Is it done anywhere? No wonder he had not inaugurated the local government. The Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission. I can hear you.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the sole administrator. You've already started talking about him. What, in your opinion, would you say are the biggest challenges facing the sole administrator in Rivers State, and how can they be addressed?
Yeah, the biggest challenge the sole administrator has in Rivers State is that obviously Rivers people does not want him. But I doubt if truly he served to the peak of his career. A man who has served as a former chief of naval staff is ordinarily supposed to have seen that truly when things are not going right, he should advise. He came to Rivers State, he said that he is not welcome. If I am him, I will honorably resign. Since he came to Rivers State, they have not even called for any stakeholders meeting on the issue of both Fubara supporters and Wike supporters. He came to Rivers State, he appointed those who are known Wike supporters to man the local government. He also appointed an agency board he has refused to inaugurate. He has not called for any stakeholders meeting apart from meeting with the traditional rulers. So where is he making the peace? Well, in one or two occasions, he visited some project sites, and since then till today, he has died down. So which way forward for Rivers people? In fact, you could imagine that for the past 2 months, there is no progress. And instead of the man who was sent here to make peace by Mr. President, let me remind Nigerians something. On the issue of declaration of state of emergency, the Constitution never envisaged the fact that on presumption. No, it is not on presumption. It is not an expectation that a particular act is to be committed before you declare state of emergency. No, it is that the act has been committed. It is until the part of the federation has been taken over or that crimes beyond the governor has been taken over before anybody will declare state of emergency. But Mr. President, in his wisdom, said he never wanted such and then declared the state of emergency. We have taken it in good faith. But yet, why not the man who here see that he is not welcome because there is relatively peace in Rivers State? He went to the House of Reps and he told them that Rivers State is fragile. I want him to tell the world, since he came to today, how many crimes has he witnessed the sin as arising from politics since he came? But he could publicly go on air, on national television, before the House of Reps to say that Rivers State is fragile. I blame those who are supporting him. The very few who are supporting Wike, who said they needed state of emergency. Today, where are they? But Mr. President should also know that those who are supporting state of emergency in Rivers State will also support a military takeover in the entire Nigeria. That would be my advice for the president.
Do you think there still needs to be a legal and constitutional discussion of the constitutional implications of appointing a sole administrator in a democratically elected government in the country? And is this also a discussion that Rivers indigents are having?
Don't even talk about the legal implication and whatever. Let me tell you, the Nigerian context is go to court. When they offend you, they will tell you to go to court. Police will come and brutalize you, they will tell you go to court. The government will come and do one or two things, they will tell you to go to court. So which court are you going? Even when you get judgment, how do you enforce it? In Nigerian context, to enforce judgment. In fact, I even had a National Assembly has joined in Supreme Court to say that the application by the PDP governor to set aside the emergency rule as declared by the governor or to nullify the emergency or whatever that they have joined, and that the Supreme Court should throw away their matter. Of what essence is that? Why not the National Assembly allow the governors to sort out with the executive? In fact, it's an executive matter. So what is their business? There are other issues pending that is even taking over the National Assembly on scandal. Why not they concentrate on that instead of going to join? Of what essence? There are other places where the bandits has almost taken over the state. There are two other states that their legislative functions have been divided. Mr. President have not said anything about that, or since all this while. But yet, Rivers State, because of one man, Wike, quote and unquote, who almost all Nigerians know his talking trade, that his next name is Trouble. A man who would publicly say that on a daily basis, if nobody criticizes him or says things against him, that he will not feel well. No wonder people are talking this and that about him. But for me, I wish him well. But only God knows. But for me, in Nigerian context, if it is for judiciary and for you to go to court, despite the fact that I'm a lawyer, when they do anything to you, it is either you leave it or you leave. In fact, just resort to your feet. But to say that anything will come out of the judiciary, I won't even encourage that.
Well, on that very sad note, Chizy Enyi, President General, Initiative for Transparent Strategy and Good Leadership, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.